Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Fireside Chat with Mayor Jeff Genung. I am Mayor Jeff Genung, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is Cooper.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Cooper who? What's your last name?
Cooper Fleming.
And where did we meet?
Right in the ranch house.
Oh yeah, we're in the ranch house today. Good call. But I ran into you at your school, Fireside School, right? You're in grade 1, 2? You're in grade 1?
Yep.
Yep. And we met at Fireside School. I was there last week with our MLA, and we were presenting a plaque to your school. And Cooper walked up to me with his tie on and his cool shoes, and he said, "Hi, I'm Cooper." Right?
Yeah.
So I just thought it would be really cool to have somebody like you on the Fireside Chat with me in the morning, because I'm going to start to have special guests every time we film. And I like to have people that are in good moods, doing great things, and are really cool people. So I thought, because your school is coming to visit us here,
Yeah.
right? Later this week?
Yep.
So I thought it'd be cool if we had Cooper from grade 1 at Fireside School to come and sit in on the Fireside Chat. So tell me a little bit about your week. What do you got with you there?
This is for the mayor because he gave me this, and because he gave me an invite, so I write him a thank you note.
Oh, awesome. Do you want to give it to me now?
Yeah.
Yeah? Well, thank you so much. You want me to open it?
Yeah, you can tear it open at the top.
Okay. I'll tear it open at the top. And you told me that you kept this in a secret place?
Yeah, can I tell you where I want to tell you where I kept it. In my bedroom, in the top of my nightstand on the right.
On the right. Well, it's not a secret now. Everybody knows where your secret place is. And I heard you also have a, oh, you really glued this.
Yeah, no, it had some tape on it, sticking something.
Well, this is cool.
I drawn some ties right there.
Oh, some ties.
Yeah.
Well, tell me where you got your tie. Last time I thought you had a blue tie on.
I have 4 colors of ties.
4?
Yeah. I have one that's gray, and the other ones are all blue striped.
That's awesome. That's my I wore my blue tie today too. Blue is kind of my favorite color. I always wear blue. What's your favorite color?
Blue and black.
Blue and black. Perfect. Well, I have a whole bunch of things to talk about council from last night. But before we get to that, one of the big things on last night's agenda was garbage. What do you do with your garbage? Are you good at recycling and organics?
Yeah.
And
we throw our juice boxes in the gray bin, and we throw our paper in the blue bin, and we throw our garbage in the garbage bin.
Good job. That's exactly what you're supposed to do.
But some kids make mistakes and put some juice boxes in the blue bin and some paper in the black bin.
Yeah.
Sometimes kids do that, but I always get it right.
Well, not everybody gets it right. Not everybody can be as smart as you at recycling. Okay?
Yeah.
So while we're trying, that's one of the things that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Do you want to hang around with me and talk about this, or do you want to take off?
Hang around.
Okay, well, let's get right into it then. Okay, so last night, and I'll talk to you like I'm talking to everybody here, okay? Well, first of all, thank you for your thank you card. This is awesome. You hold on to that for a minute, and I'm going to get into our agenda. So last night, we talked about all these things. So we had a public hearing, which means we hear from the public on a couple of things that are coming towards council. So last night, we talked about a car wash maybe coming into an area down in the downtown core. So we heard from the applicant and from staff last night about maybe putting a car wash in where the lube center is down by the library. So that'll be coming back to council. Then we had a public hearing on Sunset Ridge, Stage 3, land use. So we talked about what the implications of that are and how is that going to come to Cochrane if we get that land in Sunset Ridge zoned for land use. So you can hang on to that. These are going to be super exciting topics for you, I can tell, right?
Yeah.
So we got the fire going, we got a nice day, we're just going to chat, right? That's why I call them fireside chats.
Yeah.
Okay, so then council, the biggest thing on the agenda last night was waste management. And we talked a little bit about it. We talked about garbage and recycling and organics. So staff, administration last night came back to council and presented us with the bi-weekly pickup is what everybody in the public's been talking about it. So it was defeated. So we are not going to start going to bi-weekly in the near future. There was a lot of debate around why we shouldn't or why we should, and personally I think that we as a community can go to every other, so that would just mean that your garbage, your black bin would get picked up every other week. So right now it gets picked up every week, and we were talking about maybe going to every other week, so it would get picked up half as much.
Yeah.
So there was a bunch of questions from council about why and what the cost would be, but essentially it was defeated, so garbage pickup will stay the same for the time being.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do you have any questions about that so far?
Nope.
No? Okay. So that was bi-weekly pickup. Next thing, we had a small road closure that came for first reading, and that'll come back to council.
Yeah.
The next thing was off-leash dog parks. Do you have a dog?
No.
No?
We're going to buy a dog in the spring or the summer.
Oh, that'd be a good time. So then you can train him outside?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had the Parks and Rec Committee. So council has a committee that's made up of people in the public that talk about parks, and one of the things that we asked them to look at was the off-leash areas in town. So this was the criteria for off-leash areas to be put in existing communities. So if, where do you live? Sunset?
Nope. We live in we live in
Riviera.
Yeah.
Okay.
Riviera Crescent.
Oh, nice. Okay, so in Riviera, for example, we were looking at, you know, that big piece of land down by the river?
Yeah.
So there was, that is a big open space of town land that we were looking at. Maybe we could put a dog park there so you could go and walk your dog if you get one in the spring. So what this committee did was put together a list of criteria to say, what would we do if we were to look at that? So the criteria were quite long, and I think I have it here, 5A. There's lots of stuff on the agenda. So 5B, sorry. So there was a whole list of criteria that we would use to say, is this a good spot for a dog park or not? So we decided, actually, is that your brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. So everybody wants to be on Fireside Chat today.
Yeah.
So we looked at all the list of criteria, and basically we said there's only one area that fits the criteria, and that would be Sunset. There's a space up here by the highway north of the school that would meet the criteria, but in order for this off-leash area to go through, a group would have to come forward and say, you know, we want it there, and then it would have to come to council and all of these things. So basically, the long story short is there's a lot of areas that could have an off-leash area in them, but council, by approving the criteria last night, has taken them all away except for one. So that criteria got passed last night. Next, we heard from our communication department, and the communication department told us about how they are doing on public engagement. They gave us a report card.
Yeah.
Kind of like, do you get a report card at school?
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you getting good grades?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you are. So we gave a good grade to our communication department last night on how they're doing public engagement. One of council's priorities, so one of the things that we really feel is important to do in the public is to make sure that everybody is being heard. So what's something that you would like to change in the community, in Cochrane? What would you like to be better?
I'd like everyone to be really nice.
Yeah, me too. That's awesome. Everybody to be really nice. So what we would do then, the communication department would go and say, council is passing a bylaw for everybody to be nice in town. It's going to be called Cooper's bylaw to be nice, and then they would go and do community engagement on that and say, Cochrane residents, do you agree that we need to be more nice to people, or should we not have a bylaw like that? So that is what their job is to get people aware of what we're talking about in the community. So we heard from them last night and we got a report card back from them. So after that, we talked about council priorities. So your priority is for everyone to be nice in the community. So some of council's are, well, I think we totally missed it. We should have a nice bylaw like you're talking about, but what we have is this list of things that council is considered to be what are kind of our work plan for the next 3 more years. So until the next election, this is what council has directed administration to work on. So we have all these things, and you can go on the website, letstalkcochrane.ca, I think it's going to be on there, and these are council's priorities that we're going to take out to the public now with the communication department like we talked about, and they're going to ask the public to make sure that council, this is the right list. And then it'll come back to council and then we'll vote on those. So that's the council priorities, and we're almost done. Then we had some committee appointments. Yeah. So council has all these committees that we talked about.
Yep.
And so last night we changed some committee membership around. We appointed some people to, I think, the Assessment Review Board and then the Subdivision Appeal Board. Am I boring you? No. See, this nice warm fire and this council talk puts people to sleep, eh?
Yeah, it's kind of hot. Really hot.
It is. Anyways, that is what we talked about. I'm really happy that you joined me today, and thank you so much for your card. Should we wrap this up and go have a tour of the council chambers? Yeah, don't leave yet. You want to?
Yep.
Yeah? Okay. Well, thanks for being here today. I really appreciated you being a part of the Fireside Chat.
Yep.
You want to say goodbye to everyone?
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for joining us. See you next time.